right. Hello, everybody. Are we shoot live?
Looks like it.
Seems like we are live.
All right. This thing's still busted, but whatever. OBS can just half work. Okay.
That's all right. It do be like that sometimes.
All right. Let's see if that's gonna work now. And then, if it does, let's get the show started. Let me.
Yeah, give me the music.
Yep. I'll just in here in a sec. All right, looking good. There we go. Yep, and there's that. Let me do this.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now!
All right.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start
Yum, yum.
cheering now!
All right. I think we are good to go. Let me just bring
Yeah,
up
let's go.
the last of the Nintendogs doc, and then. Okay, Mike, I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, then. 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with! Yeah!
Woof, woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs.
Ruff.
Today, Nintendo Gold points are gone. Hollow Knight Silk Song's gone. Oh wait, it's back. Tony Hawk, are you back too? Maybe, but first, Jeff Grubb. How's it
Yo!
going?
What?
I like it. I like that energy. Keep that up. Say
Okay.
it one more time.
Yo!
That's good. That's good. That's good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. Get frustrated when things break, but that is a personal issue that I just need to deal with on my own and not let it hurt the podcast.
You know, I just know to like let you go because you mutter to yourself obscenities when you're trying to get the OBS working. I'm like,
Yep.
all right, let him cook. He'll get it.
Yep.
Nothing I can do.
Exactly. Yep, I
I'm
appreciate
stuck
that.
over here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, just
Yeah.
let me get mad at this technology, and eventually something will happen. Who knows if it's going to be the podcast or not?
Right.
But it worked. It worked tonight.
I went to a Burger King right before this. My brothers took their kids there, and they wanted me to meet. It's the only fast food joint that has one of those indoor playgrounds anymore. It was pretty rough though, Jeff. I gotta say, it was kind even for the standards of what you expect from a fast food restaurant. The Poland, Ohio Burger King is in rough shape. It's something might have to be
Yeah.
done. It's bad. First off, the freestyle machines, which you rightfully called up for being terrible, and some people were mad at you. They have one of them. Half of the sodas were out, including all the diet options. So I'd like go up to them and be like, "Hey, does your one back there have any diet sodas?" So they do that, but they're out of ice up there and back there. So there's no ice. There's garbage everywhere. We go in the playpen. There's just like an entire spilled fruit punch on the floor, covering up most of it. There was a bunch of Jesus propaganda pamphlets on the tables that I assume Burger King didn't leave there. Maybe.
Burger King is a huge theist, actually. Yeah.
Right, exactly. The kids were fine, although at one point, the one nephew was trying to teach the other nephew how to, like, climb up the slide, right? Which is always fun.
Yep.
It's like, ooh, I'm not supposed to do this.
That's a good
He was
move.
having trouble. So the nephew was telling the other nephew, oh, just like step your socks, you don't have your shoes off, just step your socks into the sticky spilled drink on the floor, and then your feet will be stickier. You can go up it. We caught him in this because he was about to do it. And we're like, wait a second, kids. This is a bad idea.
Yeah. Wait a second. You're disgusting.
Wait, this is real stupid.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But otherwise, it was nice to hang out with the kids. But yeah, it was rough time at Burger King.
I feel bad for Burger King.
I'm not one to complain about the quality
Sure.
of a fast food joint's food, right? Like, come on. But man, it's rough. Like the French fries have some taste because of the salt, right? Thank God for that.
Yeah, they
like,
got, and there's like a crispiness to the Burger King fries.
Yeah,
that are
so the
okay.
fries are fine, but a Whopper tastes like nothing anymore. It just doesn't taste like a single thing except for
God,
the sauce you happen to dip it in.
If you don't get toppings on a Whopper, you have messed up. You're right. That is a tasteless burger. You got.
There's just nothing.
I like the Whopper Junior because it has lettuce and tomato and all that stuff on there. It's usually pretty crisp and it tastes pretty good. It's the right balance. But yeah, if you're just a meat and cheese boy, please don't go to Burger King, despite the name.
Yeah, you can try to blame me for being a meat and cheese kind of boy, but look, I got meat and cheese burgers at all the
other ones.
At all of them.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
Like I can still have a pretty good time. I can get down with a quarter pounder still, right? It's fine. The Whopper, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what it is, but it's just no flavor there.
It's Burger King's definitely going to be like all fast food places are having these same kinds of problems. But Burger King, of course, is going to be the worst because, first of all, no one takes pride at working at a Burger King. There maybe someone's like, I don't know, McDonald's used to be an American institution. I don't know. But like the owners of McDonald's probably take a little bit more pride. If you own a Burger King, you're like, it's clearly that was a mistake made in Vegas somewhere. You like won that in a game of like some underground gambling game that no one has ever actually heard of. So, Burger King's always going to have it the worst. It's going to have a lot of people who couldn't get jobs elsewhere and they don't care about it. And they probably are still struggling to hire people. So yeah, it's always going to be really rough.
You work at Wendy's, at least, they have a picture of Dave somewhere still. Right. And it's like, maybe he's proud of me. He's looking up, he's looking down at me. I didn't mean to insinuate that Dave Thomas of Wendy's is in hell. Please, there is not a more pure angel in heaven.
The one good capitalist, Dave Thomas, absolutely.
The only good one. Columbus, Ohio.
I used to work at a Burger King, so I do have a soft spot for it, though.
You used to work at Lopez. It's funny because you're talking about how your ideal game is just a minimum wage job, but you're terrible at holding minimum wage jobs.
Well, that's the fantasy of me being good at one. Imagine that. Man, I don't. That was my second job was Burger King. I did quit the first one immediately to go work at Burger King. So
moving on up. Like, look, out of all of these established fast food brands, one of them's got to go before I die. And I don't think it's going to be Wendy's. Maybe it should. It's not going to be McDonald's. That'll be the last one out the door. Yeah. Right? The White House will be burning down. There's going to be a few McDonald's open for sure. But how's Burger King really going to make it another 50 years? Come on.
Yeah, it's in my lifetime, I have seen the rallies go away, right? There used to be
a few of them still.
Yeah, a few of them, right? But I mean, I think Burger King will be the same way. There will be like one Burger King still open in Alaska, just like a Blockbuster or whatever.
Sure. Right, and like people are saying Hardee's a chat. That's a different tier. I mean, at least to me, I barely ever see a Hardee's. But
yeah, when I was younger, I saw Hardee's a little bit more frequently. So that's another one. It's like, okay, Rallies and Hardee's.
Well, yeah,
these ones have gone away.
Yeah. We got a new Hardee's actually.
Whoa.
It's part of like one of those bigger gas station things. It's a Love's. You ever hear of Love's?
I have. I like a Love's. Yeah.
Yeah, people like Love's. They're supposed to be very clean. We got a Love's here, and it had a Hardee's built into it. This is kind of it's in where Boardman, I think, meets a place called North Lima, Ohio. If people are curious what I'm talking about. But yeah, I gotta go check out the Hardee's situation over there.
Yeah, I think truckers really love Love's. I think they're like they can rely on. They usually have like clean showers and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's definitely a trucker's thing. It's not like Buckneys or whatever that craze is down in Florida, the South in Florida, whatever. People go crazy for Buckneys or what? What is it?
It's just Buc-ee's, I think.
Just Bucky. Why am I adding Buckneys?
I don't know. I got a Bidoof shirt that makes him look like the Buc-ee's logo. Maybe you're getting confused because of that.
I got a special Bidoof card in Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Ooh.
Here we're talking about Nintendo now. There you go. I still kind of play that every day. At least open up my packs at night and something. Play some. I was actually automating battles for the one event because you had to win to like get a promo pack, and I was a little sick of it, so I would just automate it, and I had less chance of winning, but I didn't have to kind of sit there and kind of play the game. The game part I'm a little bit over sometimes. Right? Just give me the cards. That's fine. Anyways, Jeff, we got some video game news stories about a company called Nintendo. If you would be interested in any of that,
we can try that this episode, I guess.
Yeah, so Nintendo's getting rid of the gold points. This was kind of their rewards program. Used to be when you bought something on the eShop, you got, I believe, 5% back from the cash in form of gold points, and then you could spend these gold points to buy other games. It was nice for me, Jeff. Never a ton, but it would accumulate. If you are somebody who has a lot of Switch games, little nice thing for the people getting codes out there is that when you redeemed a code that you got from Nintendo, if you happen to get codes from them, you still got the gold points.
Oh
so
shit, we were being corrupted. I didn't think that we were being paid to review the games. I got $1 from that.
It was pretty nice. But yeah, they just said that they are getting rid of them. It's ending on March 25th, 2025, but you'll have a whole other year to spend those gold points at least. It's just kind of weird, Jeff, because there's, of course, no real reason to do this except that it's going to help them make money. They already have that whole Switch 2 thing that's going to help them make money, but we know the name of the game, right? Gotta make as much money as possible.
Yeah, I view these moves as stealth price increases. They're just a way to slightly raise up the average money spent per user. I imagine the gold points didn't damage their bottom line by any huge amount. In fact, it probably encouraged people to be like, oh, I have gold points. I should go use, the 350 gold points I have. That's $3.50. And I'll apply that to this $10 game. So, I'm getting such a deal by giving Nintendo money. I think that they probably were like, okay, but for the next generation, let's sort of reset expectations a little bit and kind of get people used to spending a little bit more money rather than getting even this tiny little freebie. It's probably not going to make a huge difference, but you're right. Every little bit helps them grow compared to the past, which is all that matters.
Yeah, and also those the voucher program, right, where you spend $100, you get 2 vouchers that you can spend on Nintendo games. So you may be saving $20. They say that that's not going to continue into the Switch 2. We don't know. There's going to be some replacement voucher system or
a Switch 2 specific one. Yeah, $120 for these two $70 games. Still save $20. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Right. So we don't know, but they're clearly taking advantage of this transition that's coming up to maybe get rid of some of these systems that have been sort of institutionalized a little bit or expected.
Yep, absolutely. And, this is when these kinds of things happen, right? Remember the PlayStation 4 reveal where they were like, and now we're going to charge for PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Network. And everyone's cheering because they were so excited about everything else that was happening. They didn't stop to hear what was being said. You do these things now when the fever pitch for the Switch 2 is at its fever pitchiest.
Right.
And look at it.
Who knows? Maybe tomorrow you announce a direct or something too, and then this really becomes old news, right? Who knows? I guess real quick, you hear anything else about some kind of direct this month since I got you here, Jeff Grubb?
Yeah, nothing new. PH Brazil's still out there talking about it a lot, and last time I checked, where I was like, are you sure something's going to happen here? The source was like, yes. So if it doesn't happen this week, it'd be weird to happen next week because we're expecting a Pokemon Direct basically next week for Pokemon Day. And I don't think that's being conflated with what I'm hearing about. But again, who knows? And who knows what form this takes? I really have no information beyond the person I talked to expects something from Nintendo like a Direct this month.
Yeah, I see. People chat saying, the vouchers aren't going away. They're just not applying to Switch 2. I thought that's what I insinuated, but to be clear, that's what's going to happen with them. All right, Jeff. People freaking out earlier today because Hollow Knight Silksong was removed from the Switch eShop.
As all fake games should be.
And a few hours later, it came back. So it's back now.
Ah, shit.
But it's got to mean something, right, Jeff?
I mean, I don't know. Is this a situation where the eShop is also on COBOL and they don't have the coders that understand how to get it to work or whatever, so they send in young boys to figure it out or whatever? It's just like our government, basically. I don't know if it has to mean anything. They did get it up pretty quick. I think that means something, where they're like, God, we don't want to be asked about this. Get this fixed, please.
Right. Is there a chance there's some kind of automated delete system for games that were listed and didn't come out for a long time? And then as soon as people realize that happened, they're like, oh shit, let's put that back up. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Or one box didn't get checked. That's like a new box that's happened since the last time they made this listing. And it's like, well, if you don't do this by a certain date, we're going to delist you. Something along those lines is kind of my expectation here, but who knows? Doesn't have to mean anything, but God, what else do Silk Song fans have to go on? So yeah, enjoy this, I guess.
Yeah, and something spoon heaven. There, we did it.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, Jeff. Tony Hawk, remember him? The pro skater?
I do.
Yeah, well, we were all very upset that we never got Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remade, like 1 and 2. But maybe something is coming. A professional skateboarder named Tyshawn Jones claimed he's appearing in an upcoming unannounced Tony Hawk remaster. He was in 1+2. He's on the Breakfast Club podcast where he said this. This is, we've had these kind of games announced before from just celebrities or people involved in games, not really understanding how secretive the business is. So just on a podcast, we're like, what are you up to? It's like, oh yeah, I'm in, the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. They don't know that it hasn't been announced. They don't understand. I mean, it's hard to imagine what else you could be talking about here. It sure seems like signs are pointing to something is actually happening here, which is good news for Tony Hawk fans like us.
Yeah, and I did get reminded by another source that he told me about this last year. So yeah, apparently this is happening. Apparently it's 3+4. It's 3+4 remake. So there you go. Oh. And there's Special Nick in chat pointing to a tweet he made, kind of insinuating the same thing. So,
but you've known about this for a year and you didn't tell me?
You know what? It was a long time ago, and I'm wondering if either I forgot or I wasn't supposed to say anything, so I just didn't, and I didn't want to get my hopes up or whatever. But yeah, apparently I've known about it.
We definitely talked about this before, and even if a source tells you something, that's not necessarily the end all be all.
No, a lot more goes into it.
Lots of signs pointing here. Gosh, so that's exciting. Now the question is, who's making it?
Right?
Because Vicarious Visions is now just part of Blizzard, and working on a lot of Diablo stuff there specifically. They're so a part of Blizzard. The understanding is that they can't just be unblizzardfied now, right?
Right. I mean, and every dollar spent on Blizzard games, they probably view as more important than every dollar spent on a Tony Hawk game, so they wouldn't want to do that, is my guess, but who knows? I mean, there's always a chance that a few people inside of that team working on the Diablo stuff were like, hey, can we go do our own thing? Can we get back out of here and find some other place inside of the Microsoft infrastructure to work? And hey, maybe we could have done this. That's possible. It's possible that happened a long time ago, which, hopefully that is the case, and this game is coming soon. But we really don't have any information beyond that. But there's been smoke here for quite some time. That Tony Hawk quote of him talking about there's a future for the series. That's about a year old now. Maybe not quite, maybe like 6 months old. So they've been putting some smoke onto this fire for quite some time.
Yeah, and I mean, Tony Hawk's 1+2 remake sold very well. Apparently, it's the best-selling Tony Hawk game ever, and that's a franchise that was a very big deal for a long time there. I wonder, so, Toys for Bob isn't an Xbox studio anymore, but we know that they are working on Xbox Game Studio title. And they've worked on Tony Hawk before. They've worked on games using Tony Hawk Engine. I wonder if there's a possibility it could be them or, some other team, what have you. The other interesting thing here, Jeff, is, 1+2 remake, you kind of could just combine those games into one big game, which is what they did. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is, the old school run style thing, right? You go through a level in 2 minutes, you kind of get done what you can get done. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is the first open world one. Right, so it's a very different structure. They're both good games, but you can't just kind of mush them together into one thing. It might be more of a situation of here's, it's a package and it has both of those games. Maybe there's some things that carry over, but it's not going to feel like one big campaign. Or maybe it will, but it's just going to have a bit more of an abrupt tonal shift at some point.
Yeah, I think it'll probably still be set up pretty similar to the last game. And they'll be like, well, now you're going to the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 levels, and things work differently here. Just deal with it. And I don't think people will be too thrown off by that. I think it can totally work. But yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of people who like Tony Hawk, as you pointed out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, best-selling Tony Hawk game, a franchise that was always a perennial bestseller for Activision. So I think, I don't think this one does better than 1+2 because that one had such a zeitgeist, such a moment. But I think clearly they could follow that up, and these games are fantastic. So whatever they have to do to figure out how to like make this work, I think it makes sense that they'll want to do that. And they also could just do 3. They could just do 4. But like, let's just do 3 and 4 together, please. I'll take that just so we can get as much Tony Hawk as possible.
And hopefully, this does well enough, and then you do Thug and Thug 2, and that's kind of it for the universally beloved Tony Hawk games, right? And then at that point, maybe then we can really try to find a way to move the series forward, or just do something, even if it's like an old style Tony Hawk game but with new levels. Who knows? But yeah, just I'm happy. This seems like there's something here. I love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It was a bummer to think that we maybe weren't going to get a remake of 3. So yeah, I'm glad this happened. I just bought Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 yesterday. I think I made this happen.
You bought it for PS2, you said?
I bought a PS2 copy. I have a GameCube copy. I was like, I want a PS2 copy. Not a very expensive game on the PS2.
No,
they sold like a zillion of them, right?
Yeah, like one per system out there in the world for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for your service. I appreciate you messing that up for yourself and making it work for the rest of us.
Oh, it's fine. I'll still play it, and then the remake comes out. It's an excuse to do it again. But
I mean, those are really good remakes. 1+2. That's just a really good game.
Yeah, and honestly, I've had a hankering for 4 because I go back to 3 all the time. And with 4, I am a little bit more like, it's still very good, but I don't quite like that open world setup as much. If I am going to play one of those, maybe I'll play Thug 1. But I remember liking 4 a lot. It's been a long time, so I do want to get back to it and give it another run through.
4 is fantastic. Really good game.
Yeah. Right before we got started here, just a little thing here, but Nintendo announced the establishment of Nintendo Taiwan, a new subsidiary. So there you go. That's going to strengthen their business foundation, the Taiwan market, improve the quality of customer service. So yeah, just a little interesting note there.
So like the equivalent of Nintendo of America, but for Taiwan, is what they're saying.
Right. So it just means they're going to have more of a presence in that area, which should be a good thing for anybody over there.
They make the chips there. They should get to enjoy the games. That's my opinion.
Yeah, right. You would think.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Well, that's it for the news, Jeff. I see we got a bunch of super chats. We got to do a mailbag later. We also, we're working on our list of 100 best Switch games. The community put their own list together for us. We're going to take a look at that today too. It's going to be fun.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't we take a quick break then? We'll be right back.
All right. Breaker.
Alrighty. Do you have super chats, Jeff? And just go into it.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right here. Let me just make sure that they are framed up so I don't have to scroll side to side.
Yeah, YouTube already crashed twice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
All right. Let's do it then. And we're back. Jeff, furry, grubbery, pleasery, weedery, the super chatteries.
Okay, Terry. Simon from Saskatchewan. I'm confused. When is Jeff going to play a lightning round game? An N64 collectathon is a short game. I guess How Long to Beat should not be trusted. The reality is we don't have a lot of other resources. Like
what are we gonna do? I'm not gonna play through it first to see how long it is.
I ate the mango. I'm sorry. Is that okay?
Oh, she did not look happy.
She's not okay with that. No, I've messed up.
She looked angry.
Just tell her it's disgusting fruit. She doesn't want it anyways.
That is how she looks at me like 80% of the time. I've always done something to make her angry. All right. Let's see. Where was that? How Long to Beat is like, a decent resource. It's going to be a lot worse if there's 2 people saying how long it takes to beat Blues Brothers. And then you can look at long plays, but I don't trust those either because I think a lot of long plays are cut together with the best gameplay. They don't show a lot of their flailing. They're like, no, we know how to play this game and know how to know where everything is. That's definitely what has happened with Blues Brothers, but whatever. I think at least this is a pretty interesting game that I'm stuck in. It could be a lot worse is how I'm feeling right now.
Hey, I'm just seeing this now. Did you see that Niantic is maybe going to sell its games unit, which I didn't realize it had much of a non-games unit.
Well, I mean, it's got all that data to sell to AI and AR
Staying
companies and
maps,
stuff
brother.
like that.
Yeah. So it's potentially going to sell its games unit $3.5 billion to Scopely, the Saudi Arabia company. This is I think this is from Bloomberg reporting this. It looks like 3.5 billion. Man, it's wild that they're still worth that much for having basically Pokemon Go and then a bunch of things that didn't really work. Like people like that Monster Hunter game. They did the Harry Potter one. Didn't do anything. I don't think the Pikmin one got much momentum.
That Pikmin one's still going, surprisingly, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Google owns Niantic, right? No,
they spun off from Google a long time ago.
Man, I missed that.
Before Pokemon Go, I think.
Oh wow, okay.
I think Google still maybe had an investment in them, but no, it was separate for a long time. Yeah, I think the reality here is okay. 3.5 billion, basically for Pokemon Go. That game is probably going to make that much money over the next 10 years, probably pretty easily. Obviously, that'll have to be spread between the Pokemon Company and Niantic and all that stuff. That's how these things get valued. It's like, oh, what is the 10x or whatever? I think that they realize they're never going to be able to replicate Pokemon Go. So get out of that business, that kind of like floundering business, cash out while you can, and then take the data. Like, honestly, how much more can they map the way people move around the world? They've had Pokemon Go now for almost 10 years. Is it 9 years? Was it 2016?
Yeah. That's wild.
You have enough people playing that game for long enough that you kind of could just take that data set as it is, and they'll probably still actually get data shared from Scopely. That'll probably be part of the deal. But they have the data now. They can just serve that up to anybody and tell people how to understand it and what to do with it and how to use it. And that's really going to be valuable for a very long time, especially as more companies try to put like advertisements in real world spaces in AR settings and things like that.
I hate that I can remember it's 2016 because of Pokemon Go to the polls.
Yep, that is what happened, isn't it? Shit. All right.
What a different world that was.
Yep. Oh, man. Okay. Dat Boy Jerry says, did Kyle Lamar's halftime show inspire Mike to finish his new gamer rap? It's been almost 2 months. Can't hurry greatness. I know.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm definitely going to hunker down and get that thing done here. I did enjoy the halftime show quite a bit, though. It was very good.
Yeah, it was very good. He nailed it. Screaming Madden says, have you guys played Wario Land 4 on NSO yet? Beat that today, and it's peak Game Boy Advance material.
I also beat it today. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about it as my game that I've been playing. I held it back from the Bombcast, everyone, so I could talk about it to the Nintendogs today.
Backyard dock your pay. All right.
Yeah, enough games. It's fine.
I've not played it yet, but I want to. Just too many other things to get through. I had to dig a hole. Empanada Eater says, people will go on Blue Sky and say anything, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 greater than Final Fantasy. No, it isn't. That isn't true.
Look, here's the thing. It's not even about that, right? The point.
Uh-huh.
It's that you never had to say that. It never had to be brought up. We just had a Final Fantasy story where I was just happy talking about Final Fantasy, and then there's just a Tony Hawk story, and you just for no reason was like, Tony Hawk's better than Final Fantasy.
It feels good to say.
I know you think that. You don't like Final Fantasy. Of course you do.
You just said it too, and I think you know deep down it was fun to say.
No, God, it's like if I ran into your house and started screaming about how pasta's better than apples. Pasta's better than apples. What value is there for that? There's none.
This is a crazy thing to say, Mike. I don't know what you're doing there.
I'm the only one here who likes both Final Fantasy and Tony Hawk. If anybody's going to make some sort of weird statement about how one's better than the other, it should be me, and I refuse. Because I'm a better person than that. I just like both of them. Even though Tony Hawk has, pathetically had a lot of pretty bad games in its mainline series, like unlike Final Fantasy. But why bring that up? That would just be a stupid moot point.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Who would do that?
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Especially after calling themselves a hero for not doing that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So eat shit.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, pretty good game though.
Yes, I love it. You know it. You're like,
doesn't sound like you love it. It sounds like the opposite.
You're mad that
keep going. My YouTube crashed, so this is good.
Okay, great. Well, you were like, oh, you didn't let it be the #1 game of all time. That's not even what happened. You wanted it to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and I was like,
I would take it 3 though.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's still ranked as like number 2 or 3. That must be pretty rough for you.
Yeah, it's hurt me ever since. Clearly, I'm still not over it.
Let go of that hurt yet.
All right, hang on. I gotta scroll up. I think we're there. Okay, Screaming Man. Okay, nope. Empanada Eater. Nope. Soul Scream. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 isn't even the best Tony Hawk, you jabroni.
That I disagree with. I mean, there's a lot of other ones that are close.
Yes,
there's a lot of very good ones. It could be 1 plus 2. I get people who like 2. Maybe those are. You know, like I said, I like Thug. I like 4. I don't necessarily like that style more than the session style.
You don't have to keep lying about liking Tony Hawk. Come on.
I'm just saving face now.
Simon from Saskatchewan. Have you ever played Secret of Evermore?
Yes. I started. It's a very, very, very interesting game. It's got a little bit of jank to it, right? Like it's so clearly emulating the gameplay style of Secret of Mana, and it is Square Enix, but it's not made by those people. It was actually made by a Western studio that they spun up to try to appeal to Western audiences. So the premise of it is really neat. It's like a modern kid and his dog, and they get kind of teleported around time, and as they do, the dog morphs to fit in with the time. It's a lot of really neat stuff. The world is kind of confusing, and I got lost and stuff, but it's still a really neat game that's worth checking out, especially if you are a Super Nintendo fan.
Yeah, I've started it a couple times just to like see, because it has an all-time box art, that giant insect thing, like it's all
like
red,
the angry ant.
Yeah, big angry ant with claws and a tiny boy like fighting him, one of Elon's boys. I kind of fell off really fast every time I've started. It's like I'm like, this is kind of a weird game.
It's a weird game. It's weird in good ways.
Is that one that supports multiplayer? One of these like Secret or something?
Secret of Mana supports multiplayer.
Okay.
Evermore doesn't, although someone checks that there's a mod that adds a 2-player co-op.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Edgar Marino says Evo registrations are up. Got charged twice and wasn't even registered. Would you try a third time? What's the chance I get banned for doing a chargeback? You gotta you don't need to do a chargeback, right? You could probably talk to their customer support. Honestly, I don't know. Is it so fucked up that you actually don't trust that and you just want to do a chargeback? I mean, if they know that their stuff was broken, hopefully you don't get banned from being able to buy another ticket. I don't know. That sucks though. Thanks for your input, Mike. Boat Night says...
I don't really understand, but it sounds like it sucks. Look, for the first half of those words you were saying, I was trying to follow it, and I got confused.
The people are in the same boat as Mike. Tried to register for Evo. It didn't work, but they still charged his credit card. So
that's fucked up, but twice they charged him?
Yes, got charged twice and wasn't even registered. Yep.
I bet... It sucks. I bet you're going to not get to go to Evo and have to call your bank to dispute charges is what I think is going to happen.
Yep, that's what they're worried about. I would try again,
That's crazy. They should have said that.
They should not. They should not charge you and not give you something. That's stupid. Boat Night. Hi, boys. I used to watch the Maniac Mansion show often on YouTube, on YTV. This is probably not YouTube TV.
YTV, I think, was... so that's the Canadian station it was on, I believe.
It was definitely Canadian, which is why I bet many Americans didn't know about it. So my assumption, Mike, when you showed yourself getting ready to play this, I didn't actually watch it. I saw you make yourself some popcorn. My assumption was that this is like a lost pilot, like we had for, what was it, Bubsy or something?
Yeah. Right.
But is this not a lost pilot? This is like a real...
There's 3 seasons of this show, Jeff.
What?
And to be clear, it did also air in America on the Family Channel. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why it ran for so long, because it was an early Family Channel show.
Yeah.
And, I think, George Lucas was involved in some way. It was Lucasfilm. That bumper is there. So it's wild. It's an insane thing. And the fact that there are 3 seasons of this show, I kind of think I need to see them all. I think this, watching it on the stream, it was fun. People seemed into it. You know how, Dan made his, channel watch all of Battle Dome or whatever. This is my Battle Dome, is this bizarre Maniac Mansion single camera sitcom from 1990.
Is it not animated?
No, it's a live action sitcom.
What the fuck? Okay.
It's a single camera sitcom in, 1990, like the era of Full House and Family Matters, where everything was multi-camera laugh track. No laugh track, but there is a guy who's a fly. I can't emphasize enough that there is a man in a fly suit, and they use digital trickery to make him ant-sized.
Oh, they lie.
The second episode of the show is about his wife, who's still a human, because he got turned into a fly because of an experiment gone wrong. The wife is jealous of a new fly in the house. He's worried that his wife, who's a fly now, her husband, the fly, is gonna fuck the new fly. She gets jealous,
Sure.
so she psychs herself up to kill the other fly. Is the whole thing. There's also there's a child, a 3-year-old child, and in the same experiment, he got put into the body of a grown man. So one of the key cast members is a grown man who acts and kind of sounds like a 3-year-old child the entire time.
Gotta say, that sounds like a crazy house.
It's a maniac mansion.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Right.
I see the difference there now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I need to see you watch more of this, so definitely make this your battle dome. All right, Chris Pratt, I was going to use those gold points to buy Mario Arcade on Switch 2. What the hell?
You got to do something. Like, come on, throw your weight around. You know, Miyamoto-san,
He
right?
thinks you're so
Say
cool.
something. He thinks you're so cool. I know you're recording lines for the second Mario movie right now. I understand you can't say anything, but you're in contact with these people, Chris. Do something. Be a hero. Don't just play one. For crying out loud.
Connell,
Love of God.
this Marvel Rivals news is dire. Garbage industry. Yeah, it's weird.
I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Can you summarize what's going on here?
Yeah, at least one of the game directors and his team in Seattle were all let go. This is something NetEase has done a bunch of times. They did that Visions of Mana thing that they helped work on their studio. They closed that studio after releasing that. And then, I'm sorry, did you have a question there? What was that?
No, I just said yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No.
Chris Pratt did say something. Said they only have me say Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I can't get out of. Oh, then they cut him off. Oh no. I hope you're okay, Chris. Continue, Jeff.
And then apparently the Chinese development team that works on this game unaffected by this. So this is about NetEase kind of continuing to chop off the people that work on the games in North America.
It's just
still weird.
It's so bizarre because I mean we've seen so many of these games, have strong starts then fall off because they can't get enough content coming in hot to keep it going. Like that's what happened to Multiverses. I have no idea. Like, why would you risk that on this game? Which again seems like it's been doing really well. I don't think there's been some kind of sudden drop off or anything like that. Or I don't know if it's like always part of the structure where the Western team was mostly doing like the creation of the game stuff and they weren't working on the long-term stuff. But I mean, why wouldn't they? It's shitty.
It's a weird thing. But yeah, that is a garbage industry just doing what it does. Joe S. Nintendo Direct win. I didn't listen to the rest of the podcast, so if you already covered this, please give me the Spark Notes. Do kids these days even know what Spark Notes are? Oh God, I'm old. Mike, I'm old that like Spark Notes is the new term for me. It was Cliff's Notes when I was young.
Oh God, it was Cliff Notes. I think Spark Notes were becoming a thing by the time I got through. Man, those are pretty good. I tell you what, you sometimes did better when you used the Spark Notes or Cliff Notes, especially if it was something like a Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like sometimes I think for some of the Shakespeare stuff, I would actually use it how we were all pretending to use it, where I would read the actual thing and then study by reading the Cliff Notes or Spark Notes. It was very helpful.
Yeah, that's a good move. Nintendo Direct
it's
win.
It's gonna still be a thing, right? Though.
Yeah. But now there's like whole industries, like apps, like based on the same idea. Like there's one called Imprint, where it's like we're gonna like give you a visually appealing version of some big books, and you can learn about. There's ones that you can learn in a day. There's ones that are going to be like 30-day courses. We'll give you a little bit of each chapter every day or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely still a thing. All right, let's see. When is the Direct? Don't know for sure, but like last time I checked, which was not this week, it was a couple weeks ago. It was mentioned to me something's still happening. I don't know what it looks like. When PH Brazil still seems very confident. My guess would be a Nintendo Direct Mini at this point, just because it feels like it's going to pop up out of nowhere. but I really, really do not know the details.
I want to be clear, everyone. Jeff's not on the line for anything here. He never promised anything. He's just saying what people are talking about, what he's been hearing.
Yeah, this one
down low.
This one's a little bit like, way more iffy than in the past. Because again, like, just to remind people what the story was here, I went to go check on a state of play, and when I asked the person who would know about a state of play, they're like, no, but I heard about a direct, and so that's a weird thing. But they tend to know these things, so we'll see. All right, from Symbiosis. Today I got a raise, lucked out, and got a bunch of free Olive Garden. And I'm listening to my dogs on a banger hand-me-down hi-fi system that I just successfully resurrected. Take the good days, y'all. That sounds like a good day.
They do raises still?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's a thing?
I mean,
wow,
maybe
congratulations.
Maybe they're from a different country where they allow that still. We'll see. From Rick Suezo, would Pokemon Go be part of the sale? Seems like some weird NetherRealm injustice stuff going on there. I mean, I would assume so.
You can't sell that for $3.5 billion without Pokemon Go.
Yep, Mike's right. Mike is correct.
On.
Yep.
I like hearing you say that. Thank you.
Put it on a soundboard and you can hear whenever you want.
Mike's right. Mike's correct. There we go. I'm not a psychopath, Jeff. I'm not going to do that.
Here, let me just see what this one does real quick.
Han Solo's powers.
Okay, that's just Han Solo's powers. There we go.
Han Solo's powers. Can you believe? Okay, come on, seriously though. That thing Dan was doing, trying to be like, oh, Lord of the Rings is like if Star Wars started the Jawas, where his only mental
Ewoks,
connection is that, I think he even said Jawas. Was it Ewoks? Is that they're all short?
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff.
Listen, I think that's a bad take because for one thing, Ewoks are cool, and another thing, like that's the whole point is that
Ewoks, yeah.
is that someone so small can do the right thing and defeat evil. Like that's the story, and
but they
I
don't
like
have cool powers like Superman,
right? And I like
or
that story.
Inspector Gadget.
Yep.
Do something about your boy.
There's nothing to be done about this man at this point. Just let him wear himself out, which will never happen, is what I've learned. So that's great. All right, let's see here. From the Uncharted Wolf. Night Rain is so freaking good. I'm gonna be obsessed when it's out. How much did y'all play? Do you see yourselves getting addicted to? I did not touch it. Mostly because the weird timing. I didn't want to like force my schedule around them trying to break their own game for development purposes. But I was curious what Mike thought. Mike, you seemed like curious, but you want to like play more, kind of get a better idea of like what it's going for.
It's like I liked it, and I know I will specifically have a good time when I'm playing with my brothers, if I'm playing with like you and somebody else. But I don't see it becoming some big obsession, honestly. I bet if I could play through it right and kind of beat each of the big bosses one time, I'll probably feel pretty good about the game and then move on. We'll see. Like I just have so many questions still. Like, what is the long-term support for this game? Or is it meant to be something like, no, play through it and beat it, and then that's it. You're done. It's okay. It doesn't, because there's so much that is Fortnite-y about that's surprising that part of me is like, well, then is it a live service game? Is that even what they're trying to do? And I'm not sure about that. It has a lot of those elements, though. So yeah, it's almost hard to even wrap around enjoying it because the whole thing is just still so kind of surprising and a little confusing to me. I still think it's a great idea, right? Like we weren't going to get a proper new FromSoft game for a long time. So yeah, reuse a lot of assets, do this fun thing for $40 or whatever it is. Let's see how it goes. I'm excited to play the full thing.
Yep, me too. Soul Scream is back. I'm over this Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Final Fantasy thing. Gonna boot up PsyOps. A good idea. That's if you are ever getting shoot hot because I posted something intentionally to make Mike Minotti mad. Just go play PsyOps instead. That
seems like a good works.
idea. Like, why would you do this? And I'm like, gee, I wonder why.
That's a big mystery. I should play PsyOps. I bet. So we're playing that game about digging a hole tomorrow. I think there's gonna be punishment rules again.
Oh yeah.
But if Dan won, I think PsyOps would be a potential punishment for me. And don't worry, Jeff. If I win, I will make sure that like you're already working through an important punishment. I'll make sure your second punishment is very short.
Yeah. I'm like, I should get through Grim Fandango. Gotta say, kind of wanting to play more of Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
It got really good that last episode. So next time I stream it, I'm gonna try to stream it for a little bit longer.
Part 2 of Chef streams is on the YouTube, and part 3 is gonna be up soon.
Thank you, producer Christian. All right, Two Bear says, when RFK looks into the number of unplayed games I have in my Steam library, I'm definitely going to camps. Yep. Just a good, cool, not failed state we live in. Cold Zebra says, happy to catch you guys live. I've been keeping odd hours with my newborn. Is there a chance Tyshawn Jones was referring to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2?
Congratulations on the newborn.
Yes, congratulations. Enjoy it. I got to the point now where I'm like, oh, I miss those days. And mostly because Addie is like walking around being sassy and like, I'm like, you're basically a grown up now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So I miss those days. Enjoy them. Tyshawn Jones, maybe. Yeah, you got. It is important to keep in mind that a lot of times, people who are involved in these projects in this kind of way might have no frame of reference, might have never actually played the games. When someone asks about the games, like, I don't know, I did something. Did it ever come out?
He said he did do 1 and 2 already as part of that quote, though, I think. Now,
yes.
Who knows?
And also,
maybe it's like,
I heard about it a year ago. 3 and 4 is happening. So there you go. I mean, just is.
Good. That's exciting.
Yep.
Yep. I'm excited about that. You think, I forget, like, what was the situation with the secret characters in 1+2? Did they just give new ones? Like, Wolverine didn't come back. Did he? Did Spider-Man?
No.
I forget how they did that.
No, Spider-Man couldn't have at that point.
I guess I'm not. My question is, should I expect Darth Maul in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3?
Probably not. I think they'll do. I think with 1+2 they did new characters for the most part.
Yeah. Wasn't there a porn star in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or something?
Probably. It was the time.
Something like that.
You know, Bobby Kotick trying to meet somebody. Probably.
Yeah.
All right then.
Jenna Jameson was in 4. Thank you, Brad.
Was it really Jenna Jameson? Incredible.
In 4. Well, there you go.
All right,
boy, that is. And I'll tell you what. Give me 2 guesses on who it could have been circled that time, right? Jeez.
Yep. That's like the porn star of that time. In case the kids are wondering who we're talking about.
In case you're wondering about Jenna Jameson, we didn't even necessarily have a thing for her. She was just the porn star.
Yeah, it was just
right?
that was the option. That was the style of the time.
You go on Morpheus or Kazaa and look for porn. It's just gonna be.
You can look for anything, and one of the first results is going to be a Jenna Jameson film. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Film's incredible.
L. Grug says, why doesn't Mike make a soundboard of all the weird stuff Dan says? He probably doesn't even need to doctor anything. Bennis.
I'm not
Until I see evidence that the world is round, I'm not believing a damn thing.
That's pretty. Like, what am I gonna do? Play the clip where he asks if the sun has gravity? like I don't want to hear that again.
Yeah, it's more upsetting to us.
It was painful.
Mike, that does it for the super chats.
Yeah. Hey, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to take another short break here. Going to get us set up for a mailbag. But also, even before that, let's look at the community 100 games. We've got a couple fun graphics here, so let Jeff get that set up. Yeah, we'll be right back. I'm excited.
All right. There's a Dan Raker sound, or there was on the internet a Dan Raker soundboard. There was like 50 sounds of him just cheating on Monster Hunter. Yep. And it was just it was just an entire site for that.
That's incredible.
All right,
I'll be right back. I'll let you get this set up.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh, Jason made that? I thought it was somebody else. I know from Jason that he introduced the entire community to that.
Oh man, I think am I getting sick again? I have a headache, I'm losing my voice, and my throat hurts. So
it's going around.
Other than that, like I feel fine though. That's the thing. That's the annoying part. It's like, oh, we're just gonna make it difficult to podcast. So what am I? I'm gonna get up on this microphone, everybody. I'm gonna talk like this.
Oh yeah.
So just deal with that for the rest of the episode.
Radio shit.
Get you some plosives. It's gonna be really uncomfortable for me, more uncomfortable for you.
And it's not unusual. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let's see. You said there was fun graphics. Christian, you know what he's talking about?
It's on the last channel of Nintendogs. I can send it to you. It's on the doc, but I can send it to you if you want it through Discord.
This Joy Z one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's it. I got it. All right.
Yeah, all right.
There's 2 you said. There's
Yes.
Tiny URL.
There's the list.
And then
What are you talking about?
okay, I'm seeing there's a tiny URL from Joyzy that this says game GMD 100 Switch games.
Are you in the Nintendogs doc?
I'm in Cool Kids Last in the Nintendogs.
No. Check the doc.
Oh, the
No,
doc.
you have the doc. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's the doc. I see some stuff now. That's gonna be. Am I gonna be able to get this over there pretty easily? You know what? I could just show the doc. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit anymore, Christian? Am I right? We're all
I'm
gonna
with
die.
Oh hell yeah! That meteor is coming right up my head.
You promise?
Brother.
You promise?
I'm
All right. Let's see here.
It's like, oh, we're scanning it. It's like the percentage is going lower, and eventually it's gonna miss. I'm like, oh man, you're just
fucking don't
taking the excitement away.
Threaten me with a good time. Okay.
Send Messi. He can like. Have you seen him like when he gets a difficult ball coming from the sky?
Yeah.
He, like slips that shit on the foot. She can do that with the meteorite.
All right. Opera.
Okay, how many times tonight have you guys talked about Tony Hawk versus Final Fantasy?
Quite a bit.
Once.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, my Mike is not happy that I purposely was trolling him for some reason. Who could say?
You know what I love the most?
Gee, I wonder why he does it.
That's mostly what we've been talking about.
I like how targeted it is, and also I love, even though the target is like really obvious how much collateral damage it does. Like all other people. It's yeah.
That's just
Did
a
you
good time to
bought
me.
any? No, I did not buy any liver. I have a full. I finished elementary school and high school. So
Joyce, this is a good graphic. I like the red and the blue on the edge, kind of gradient, the gradient of the red and the blue coming into the image. Very good touch on that. Okay, I think I have it set up. We'll have to get Mike's face centered when he returns, though. Is it just? It's this, and then it's the other one, which I can just scroll down to get to. Okay.
Wow, spoilers.
Oh shit!
Oh, you got it.
There you go.
Just pretend you didn't see anything.
Yeah, you guys didn't see shit.
It's like when you go see a magician, you know, you just pretend and like, oh.
Yeah, pretend to be surprised when Mike gets back.
There you go. Oh boy.
Crazy.
Man, did OBS just break everything? It keeps giving me this warning that I'm at a too low of a bit rate. I'm probably not.
You've been streaming at a low bit rate, I think.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, I think this is what we did for a while though, and it was fine.
5K or?
I think I was using AV1, so I was doing like 2.5K, and it was totally fine.
Oh,
yeah, well, AV1 is really good with low bit
Yeah,
rates.
but I think that it looks like that got reset, so it's not doing AV1.
If you turn off, if AV1 got turned off, then that bit rate's not gonna be really good.
Yeah,
for
that's
you.
not gonna be good. I'll just increase the bit rate because that's something I can affect live.
Yeah.
Do that.
Who made these graphics, by the way?
I think it was Joyzy.
Joyzy,
Okay. I think, Mike, I have
Did
it
Joyzy
right.
organize this whole thing?
Seems like it.
Okay, want to make sure I get proper credit here. Okay,
I'm set up, so if you want to bring us back in, I was telling them, definitely getting sick. I think voice is going, a headache, and my throat hurts, but I feel fine otherwise. So I'll just be talking weirdly quiet right into my mic like this. So it's going to be very sensual for you, and I just want to warn you.
Yeah.
You get horny, just control yourself.
Around?
I was gonna go take some aspirin or something just for the little bit of the pain in the throat,
Get a
but
hit.
I'll be fine. I'm fine.
All right, Jeff, I'll take care of most of the talking in my big mouth.
Yay, thank you.
All right. And we are back. Jeff, we've been having fun working on our list of the top 100 games for the Switch. We kind of have, we've picked the 100 or so games. We're going to order them soon as our next step. But the community, organized by Joyzy, has made their own top 100 Switch games. It's technically 102 because of a 12-way tie at 91st place, which is fun. So why don't we take a look at this and see how the community is feeling about this? I'll let me name the top 20 here, and then people can look at this on their own.
Yeah, I
But-
have the graphic here. Do you want me to bring up the whole thing so everyone could just see it?
Yeah, just bring up the graphic. Just
All right.
bring it up.
I'll fix your face in case people are wondering. Mike's face will be
No one
fixed
can
in a
fix
second.
that. It's okay.
I'm gonna do it.
But yeah, I think the top 3 isn't too surprising. Maybe the order a little bit. Number 1 is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Number 2, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and then number 3, Super Mario Odyssey. I hear so many people kind of do the whole, well, I think I like Breath of the Wild more now thing. I think it's kind of nice to see Tears of the Kingdom still at number 1. I probably still like Tears of the Kingdom a little bit more. I would never be upset about Breath of the Wild being placed above it, but I think it's neat to see Tears there.
Yeah, I definitely hold Breath of the Wild in such a holy place in my heart. That's where that mostly comes from. If I were to recommend a game to somebody, honestly, might be Tears of the Kingdom before Breath of the Wild. If it's one game on the Switch you absolutely have to play, might be Tears of the Kingdom. Could be Super Mario Odyssey, of course, as well. Though you're right, though. Seeing it number 1, very cool. I think it reminds you of that. There is often that silent majority in gaming that's just no, we really like that game, and all the backlash, as always is the case with Zelda specifically. But
Right.
as is often the case with a bunch of different things as well, it's overblown.
Yeah, but this is, let's be honest, our top 3 probably going to look pretty similar to this. Who knows what the order is going to be? But yeah, all 3 of those. I love Mario Odyssey so freaking much. I am always talking myself out of just playing it again because I want to try to play some more new things.
Yep,
it's fantastic. So that's kind of the big 3. So I was very interested to see what number 4 is. That's Pikmin 4, and I like that at number 4 a lot, Jeff.
Me
That was a
too.
big surprise for me as somebody who doesn't really got into Pikmin before this. I know you like Pikmin a lot, and this still hit for you very hard.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is Pikmin is a real deal forever Nintendo franchise now because of Pikmin 4. I think Pikmin 3 Deluxe was at the time when that happened on the Switch, improving Pikmin 3 from Wii U, it was okay, if we never get another Pikmin game, at least they really nailed it and figured it out with Pikmin 3 Deluxe. And then 4 comes along, is just better in every way, really is a top 5 video game on any console, really. And to be in the top 5 on the Switch, really impressive. I agree with this. This is a really cool game to see at number 4.
And then some games that aren't too surprising. I definitely agree with them pretty high. Number 5, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 6, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Definitely some sales workhorses for the system. Number 7, Metroid Dread, a game that we like, and I'm not too shocked there's a lot of cross interest amongst our audience there too. But yeah, happy to see that they have good taste with Metroid Dread. And then our first non-first party game, number 8, Hades. Again, pretty absolutely correct. Hades as an indie game I associate with the Switch so heavily. I played an absolute ton of it. I think a lot of people had a similar experience.
Did you explain the methodology here of how it worked and everything?
No.
It is down here in this next one, just real quick, for people wondering how they came to this list.
Yeah. So the way Joyzy organized this, so people in our podcast producers community, which is people who are subscribed to our Patreon at patreon.com/GameS or are subscribed to us on Twitch. I'm twitch.tv/Tokoto. You've been streaming more, so it's same for you. It's twitch.tv/Jeff Grubb. Is that just
That's
it?
right. Yep.
/Jeff Grubb?
Just slash Jeff Grubb, yeah.
That gets you access to the special Discord channels, which lets you do stuff like this, or Game Club, or early Columbros. 37 people submitted lists with 191 different games. And then there's kind of, a point system figured out there based on the rankings and everybody's
You see how
list.
close Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey were? 193 versus 192 for the points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's incredible. So yeah, it's funny because Tears of the Kingdom, pretty decent lead there in first place at 212. But yeah, Mario Odyssey and
It was listed.
Breath of the Wild.
It was listed number 1 the most times, 9 different times. It was listed number 1. Breath of the Wild was listed number 1 8 times. Mario Odyssey 4 times.
So yeah, so that seems like a pretty fair system, and I think the results do make a lot of sense because after Hades at number 8, then you have Stardew Valley number 9, another one of the top beloved indie games on Switch. Another one I know I played a ton of on Switch and had a very good time with, for sure. 10, I'm not shocked it's this high, but a little surprised it made the top 10. I guess Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is a good game. I think I'd have no problem with it being there.
I like it a lot.
Although we've seen plenty of times our community has a lot of Pokemon fans, and absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Definitely helping it here for sure. But there's games in the next bunch there, and to round out the top 20 that I would put above Pokemon Arceus personally.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, hey, where's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Well, here it is at number 11. So, yeah, so part of me would have maybe guessed it would show up a little bit higher than that here. I bet this is a game that's like a lot of people's number 5, like it's in their top 10, and maybe there's some people like me who are fuddy-duddies about Mario Kart. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is at number 12, so that's the highest entry in that series. I bet for us that one's not going to chart quite as high.
Did you know that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is better than that game?
I'm so mad. Here's a game I could stand to see even higher, honestly, is Luigi's Mansion 3 at number 13. Although it's cute that it's 13, isn't it?
Yeah, that works for me, brother. I like that.
Number 14, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yeah, that's good. Although, I bet when we do ours, I bet that's going to be higher than Xenoblade as far as the kind of RPG games go.
Definitely.
So 15, Metroid Prime Remastered. I almost called this the first remaster / remake on the list, although I guess Mario Kart 8 Deluxe technically has it beat there. But yeah, good to see that. And then
speaking of top 10.
Yeah, it's just still freaking good. So speaking of remaster / remakes, there's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door at 16. Boy, yeah, I'm glad other people enjoyed that as much as I did, because I was so impressed by it. Are you still beating that one, Jeff? You falling off a little bit again?
Yep, just got the kids took the Switch again, but also there he goes.
Oh my God,
enjoyed him.
You're still beating it, buddy.
I'm still beating it. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. What a good
number
time.
17, Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Hell yeah, I love me some Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Yeah, that's one I would probably put above like Arceus and stuff like that. That game's so good.
I bet this is a good placement for it, and yeah, I could see it being maybe even higher for us. We'll see. Lots of good games, including number 18, Into the Breach, a game I know you like quite a lot.
I mean, it's probably the best turn-based tactical game ever made. It's so good.
And then number 19 is Monster Hunter Rise. And I'll tell you what, I've almost had a hankering to go back to this with the excitement for a while it's coming out, because I did like Rise a lot. There's even some things, at least just based off of the beta, that like Rise is a little snappier in terms of kind of getting in there and fighting monsters sometimes, just because, Wilds is doing the thing like Worlds, where there's a bit more of a narrative and stuff with the story, which is fine, but I kind of liked Rise's slightly more Spartan approach to that stuff.
You should check Generations Ultimate. That's
I almost did. I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe I should look at that. But it's too close to the release of Wilds now to try doing that.
It's number 81 on this list, by the way.
That's nice. Wow. Look at that. What number 20 is Balatro. Hey, look at that. Good on Balatro, making it so high up there. So yeah, that's the top 20. Those are the big ones. Maybe real quick, let's read some other ones, just in case you're wondering and you're listening. We'll post this graphic though on our Blues. We'll both post it on our Blues, guys. We don't have. I was like, we'll post it on the Game Mess account. There's no such thing.
Yeah, I'll do it. One day I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds hard. 21 is Celeste. 20, and also tied at 21 is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Tied for 23. Ring Fit Adventure. Super Mario. Wonder. That's got to be a typo. That's okay. Number 25 and 26 is Tetris 99 and F-Zero 99. How about that? The 299's tied there. That's cute. Number 27 is Dead Cells and Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Number 29 is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Wait, what's going on here?
Hey.
That game's not even out yet.
Well, I mean, maybe if we have some pirates in our community, you never know.
Number 30 is Hollow Knight. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Gosh, now I'm trying to figure out what is the second Super Mario Brothers Wonder supposed to be? I wonder. That's funny. Yeah, but hey, that's great. Thank you so much, Joy Z, for that. Again, we'll post that whole list somewhere. We'll get working on our list very soon. Jeff, don't worry. I already had a nice, pleasant discussion with the mailman and had him tastefully hand the letters over to me.
You. I appreciate it.
You don't have to chase them down
I don't have the wolves in me anymore.
Yeah. So here we go. Just going to start reading these. Again, these are from our podcast producers. That's another perk. if you are so inclined to join the Patreon. Bikes and Brew says, I finished Tears of the Kingdom and loved it, but fell off of Breath of the Wild. You think for most people it's a case of committing to one or the other, or do most people get equally into both? Thank you for your consideration. I mean, there's all kinds.
Yeah, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, it's just different. If you ask me to guess, I guess people would be inclined to finish both of them or inclined to kind of fall off both of them. Your case might be slightly more rare, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think the games do offer up different things for different people. So yeah, I think it's not too surprising that people feel differently about them.
Sludge Reinhold says, hello, my dogs.
Hello.
Recently finished Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake, a lovely modernization of a cherished game from my youth. The game is gorgeous, and it has so many great characters, but I found that at this point in my life, I no longer have the patience for the way it dishes out much of its dialogue and story. I don't think this is a problem with the game as much as my own heart and brain that have been, calloused and broken by time. Do you have an example of revisiting an old game to find that it holds up, but maybe it's you that doesn't hold up?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit with Advance Wars, where it's I'm like, oh, I just wanted to feel like it did when I played it the first time, and it doesn't anymore. I just think that series maybe needs a little bit of a refresh. But then again, like, I don't know, maybe it doesn't. It is kind of this very pure thing. Maybe this is the story of me not being ready for it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of rare cases. Like, I did have that happen with Star Ocean 2 when the HD2D of that one happened. Like, I remember, like, PS1, even that PSP version, that game being so impressive. Even though this version looked better than ever, I'm so much more familiar with JRPG tropes. This game does lean heavily on a lot of those. I was overall less impressed this go around with it. Mm-hmm. The Entire Wolf says, hey, dogs, let me tell you guys about a horrible night I had this last weekend. I was sifting through Nintendo 64 NSO in between Night Rain playtests when I saw Ridge Racer 64. Ha lame, that nerdy racing game Mike is obsessed with, I thought to myself. I launched it without expecting much when, after 2 hours, I realized something, a horrible, god-awful truth that I couldn't admit. Mike was right. Ridge Racer is fun. He's still wrong about Brawl, though. Highest Metacritic for a Smash game, by the way. Yeah, Ridge Racer's great. People should play even Ridge Racer 64, which is like not the best one at all, is still great. So I am glad that we got it for sure. But boy, do I need a new Ridge Racer.
What would you say is the best playing Ridge Racer?
Ridge Racer 2 for the PSP.
Okay,
is the one. It's pretty easily accessible because you can just play that on a PS5 now.
Yeah,
like it has a boost system that they introduced starting in Ridge Racer 6. That it's a pretty good boost system. Part of me wants to be a little shithead purist and say that Ridge Racer is better without it, but there's just so much else about that game that feels so smooth.
Better without the boost. Mega Man better with the charge shot. Okay,
it's kind of a similar thing, and also, well, you know, it's not like a hard line there, but yes, it's kind of like that. Duber says, if you were gonna make a Nintendo International holiday, what day would you pick and how would you celebrate? No Wiggler Wednesday, please. I'd have a day for Gooigi.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Gooigi deserves it. I would have like a Game Boy Camera Day or something weird, like just like their weird stuff, like Weird Nintendo Day, and it'd be every year we just remember all the weird stuff they've ever done.
I don't have to vocalize the thoughts I'm having about the Game Boy Camera right now. I can be better than that. Max says, in a hypothetical situation where you could only have one, would you rather continue to see Wario games be a collection of micro games? Would you prefer a return to the platformers a la Wario Land? I think, look, I love WarioWare, Jeff. I am at a point in my life where I would really like to see another Wario Land or Wario platformer in general.
Yeah, I think they need to refresh Wario a little bit. Stop trying to make the WarioWare gimmick. Like, stop forcing it. When you have an idea, do it then. I like the Switch ones. I do. But I would not be like, hey, everyone should be playing those the way I am with Mega Micro games. And Wario's a cool character, a fun character I like a lot. They should find other things to do with him, including more platformers.
Tommy Pencil says, is 6 p.m. south of midnight?
Everything's south of midnight if you really work hard enough.
It took me a bit to get, but yeah, because it's the hour hand's pointing down.
Yeah.
Which is south.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Right. Huh.
Always Beat Clothing says, Dear Mike, Musk, Costanza, Minotti, and Jeff 1.5 syllables Grubb, what's the angriest you've ever been when somebody has brought up Star Wars?
Who can remember?
I mean, you almost walked out of that movie the one time. So it was when J.J. Abrams brought up Star Wars Episode 9. I believe.
Yeah, honestly, that's up there. When that motherfucker turned out to be Ray's dad or whatever, granddad, whatever the fuck it is,
Ray's grandfather. Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe the cowards, the guys that get to make movies. This is insane. So
Ray
that's definitely up
Skywalker.
there. Yeah.
It's like not some. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then that like Star Wars theory guy talking about how Andor isn't very Star Wars because you could see screws in it, and I just am like, you have not been wedgied enough in your life. You suck so bad.
I thought there was always lots of visible screws in Star Wars.
That's
Wasn't
right,
everything made out of flashlight handles?
Yes, it's everywhere.
I can't think of something specific. I used to be a big. I liked Return of the Jedi a lot, especially as a kid. So it always kind of like used to bug me when everyone's like, it's the worst of the original trilogy, even though now I do agree. But I always I don't think it's that far off.
No, it's
so I remember, when it was a kind of a popular opinion, even right away, that, well, Episode 3 is at least better than Return of the Jedi. I was like, no. Just no.
Episode 3, and I'm sorry to all the children out there, is actually the worst one, other than 9. I really hate Revenge of the Sith. I really don't. Every decision made by the characters is completely nonsensical, and so it makes it hard to care about anything that's happening. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny because like with the prequels, I would much rather watch Phantom Menace than any of them at this point.
Is like
at least it's kind of pretty.
Yeah,
it's a good audio visual experience, which I cannot say about Episode 2 and 3 at all. Jim says, hey, yo, dogs, I'm pretty disappointed with Nintendo dropping gold points. It was such a nice feature, especially compared to the competition. What other changes do you think could happen? And if so, price rises seem even more likely. Oh, sure. Yeah, that can absolutely happen as well.
Yeah, I almost guarantee Nintendo Switch Online pricing will go up for the Switch too. Yeah, that's what they're doing this just across the board.
Do you think the price will go up, or do you think it's going to be a situation where like there's no base and expansion pack? There's just the one, like, you're going to get those Game Boy Advance games whether you want them or not.
Yeah,
you're going to pay for them.
Like, not a bad idea. They might do something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I hope they're not listening. All right, next one here is from Chris2K. It says, hey, yo, dogs, when you start your Columbros podcast, that was finally the push I needed to get into the show myself. Well, that and the thousands of memes I kept seeing. I've been enjoying it slowly over time. I've now reached season 5, really loving the ride. My question to you is, if you had to create a Columbo Nintendo crossover, what would it be? Who is the victim and who is the murderer? And how does Columbo catch them? Love you, boyos. Bye.
I think it would be, I would probably have it pretty adjacent to Luigi's Mansion. And he would like work with Luigi a little bit. But I would have to probably bring in some other characters just for people to be murdered and people to be red herrings and stuff like that. I think I want to get Booster from Super Mario RPG involved. I think he'd be fun with Columbo. And then maybe what's that lady also from Super Mario RPG that wears like the bird head or has the bird head?
Yes, the in the Cloud King. I don't remember her name, but yes, her.
She'll be the actual murderer. Like people,
of course,
yes. Like a Booster will be there to like kind of throw a kink in the works. But yeah, she'd be the actual murderer, and she killed Mario.
I kind of have a different angle on this. I want an episode based off of the Universal versus Donkey Kong court fight over the whole King Kong Donkey Kong thing.
I like this a lot,
versus yeah, and of course, like they're going to change all the names, right? It's not going to be Nintendo. It's going to be, like Fun Machines, right? And
Okama Game Sphere, yeah.
Tim Washington instead of Howard Lincoln, stuff like that, right? Whatnot. But yeah, it's going to. So then I don't know who's getting murdered, right? But it's going to be something heinous going on there. It'll be fun. Michael Riley says, unpopular opinion, the only meat I like beaten at a Rainforest Cafe is the juicy and tender primal steak I guess I'm just a fuddy duddy. My
Real
brothers
fuddy
asked me. My brothers asked me today at this disgusting Burger King, what's up with all of this Rainforest Cafe stuff? So I had to try to explain that to them. That was fun. They were amused.
I mean, they were
Like, on
there,
my-
right? They know what you're like.
No, they don't. I don't think they actually heard the story about like my dad telling me about how masturbating's evil. I don't think they knew that part. So that was a revelation for them. Mr. Bohr says, "Hey Nintendogs, as we're approaching the end of the Switch and reflecting on its games, I'm curious to see how well you know the swan songs of Nintendo's other consoles. So I prepared a short quiz. Given each of the Nintendo home consoles, I want to see if you know what the last Nintendo published game for each console was, going by North American release date. Answers are found reverse at the end, along with their release date." Okay, Jeff, do you get what's going on here? It's kind of a
I
fun
get what's going
idea.
on. I'm going to be terrible at this. I have a terrible memory, but we'll do our best.
It's okay. I don't think I'm going to be that much better at this. But let's give it a go. NES. What do you think is the last published NES game?
Yeah,
I think I have a guess.
Yeah, I know. It's like, am I even going to have a guess? Let me try to pull something out of my head here.
We'll go work together here. I don't see the answers either. You want me to tell you what I'm
yeah.
thinking?
What are you thinking?
I think it's Wario's Woods.
Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty late.
Other late Nintendo published games were Star Tropics 2. They published Mega Man 6 in the US.
Okay.
Because Capcom wasn't going to bring it over here. But I still think it's Wario's Woods.
Let's go with it.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to just scroll down slowly to see this first one.
Hey, I think it's right, Mike.
Hey, it's Wario's Woods. Okay. Yeah. Christian, can you just tell me if we're right then so I don't have to risk it if you don't mind? If you're in there. Or
All right.
Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. That's one. We got Wario's Woods. Super Nintendo, though. Super Nintendo.
So, like, what I'm thinking, like I know Yoshi's Island's pretty late. I know Donkey Kong Country 3 is later than that.
I'm going to say Donkey Country 3 is definitely even later than I think Yoshi's Island.
I'm trying to like, is there something weird?
Yeah, is it like the latest? Like, I mean, Killer Instinct 2, was that on Super Nintendo? Did that get a Super Nintendo port?
Oh, I don't know.
That would have been maybe late-ish. I don't know. Was there like some weird Super Scope game? No, Yoshi Safari was probably earlier than
Yoshi
that.
Safari was earlier than that.
I don't know if we're going to have a better guess than Donkey Kong Country 3.
Donkey Kong Country 3 feels like a pretty good chance that's right.
Yeah, we're going to say Donkey Kong Country 3 for Super Nintendo. Nope.
Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Shit, I always forget how late that one is.
Yep, me too.
It is very late.
Like, honestly,
I
don't even think
remembered.
about that one very frequently, yeah.
I kind of, I'm such a Kirby Superstar boy. Kirby Superstar is also
Yeah,
a pretty
that's a late one, yeah.
Super Nintendo game, so it's wild that there's another one.
Yep.
Okay, Nintendo 64. This one, that's pretty tricky, actually. Like, what were late Nintendo 64 games? Like, but I mean, something had to come out from the Nintendo 64 from Nintendo in 2001 before the GameCube came out later that year. What was the last Rare game that came out on there? Because Dinosaur Planet was delayed.
Jet Force Gemini came out after Perfect Dark or before Perfect Dark?
Yeah, but I think Conquer was even after Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah, okay.
Conquer was pretty late.
Right.
What about like Pokemon Stadium 2? That had to be kind of later, right?
Yeah, that feels pretty good. Because that's something they would have.
That feels late, but I don't think it's like astronomically late. It's weird because there weren't. It's like, there weren't a ton of Nintendo games. Like, they weren't releasing nearly as many Nintendo 64 games. It always took so long to make. Could be something really weird here, right?
Yeah. This one's really tough. It probably is something really weird that we're not thinking of.
Yeah, it is. The guess I like the most right now is maybe Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yeah, let's go with that one because Pokemon would have been big enough that they would have put it out in 2001.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon Gold and Silver came out in 2000 here, I think, and that's what this one's based off. So maybe the Stadium version came out later. We'll go with that. I don't feel super confident about it, but it's the best we got. Pokemon Stadium 2.
Mario Party 3.
Oh,
Man, we should have thought about Mario Party. That makes sense.
3 of them on one console, yeah.
Well, so I'll tell you what, because that brings us to the GameCube. Now, part of me is all of a sudden like, ooh, maybe it's Mario Party 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 4 Mario Parties on the GameCube. Could be Mario Party 7. But Twilight Princess came out on the GameCube. I
Yeah.
don't think did they release any other GameCube games after that?
After Twilight Princess for GameCube. No, Twilight Princess feels like that's actually probably the right answer.
Yeah, I think it's just got to be Twilight Princess for the GameCube.
Yeah.
All right. You are correct.
That's
The Legend
right.
of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Hey, okay. In fact, we got 2 here. It make me feel good. The Wii. Gosh.
Okay. Wii's gonna be weird. Okay.
Yeah, I know Skyward Sword's 2011. But again, they had to release something for the Wii in 2012 before the Wii U came out.
Right.
And like
Rhythm Heaven? That Rhythm Heaven?
Heaven was late. Was there like Wii Fit Plus or something?
I don't think so. It's like a separate SKU.
When was Wario Shake It? Wario Land Shake It. When did that come out?
It was later, but I don't know if it was like
Really late.
on the cusp of Wii U. Well, no, it could be that late.
Kind of like that.
I'll go with that one. That one, because as I'm remembering it, feels like it's possible.
I don't think I got anything better.
It's
This
another
could be a
Kirby.
weird one.
Yeah, Kirby's Dreams Collection Special Edition.
Oh, I've got that over there. Okay, weird. Okay,
Yeah.
at first I was like, I don't remember
That came out
Kirby's Epic Yarn being that late.
September 16th, 2012.
It's weird that they did make that. Okay, yeah, that was a thing. All right. Wii U.
Is this Breath of the Wild again?
Breath of the Wild, right? There's no way anything else came out after Breath of the Wild. Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, 3 out of 6. 50%. Not bad here.
Not bad, and we should have been better on the Kirby's.
I think there's any way I was going to get that Kirby collection, but Kirby Dream Land 3, I probably could have remembered. And Mario, I don't think I would have remembered Mario Part 3 was that late.
Yeah,
I guess I could have guessed.
That was pretty shocking.
But hey, that was fun. Thank you so much, Mr. Polar. Jedi Moss says, I'm not the only one who's desperately looking at the Switch 2 as something nice to look forward to in this crazy environment we currently live in, right? Anyways, just want to say thanks, Mike, Jeff, and everyone at Game Us for helping us keep a small shred of sanity and fun in insane times. You're welcome, Jedi Moss. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, when we look back at these times, you're going to remember a lot of stuff, but you'll also get to remember all the fun stuff, too. So make fun memories.
Jenny Cool Dick Denver says, no question today, but I just wanted to thank you guys for everything you do. Everyone's so nice to us, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. As a government employee, boo! No, I'm joking. Who is safe
What are you,
for
Canadian?
now, but,
Jesus, Mike. Come on.
yeah, well, look, my government employee still has a job. It's incredible. Yeah, who's safe for now, but who the fuck knows in a month? Things have been stressful. Helping people I work with is now woke, so I'm not allowed to do that anymore. But Jeff beating Blues Brothers 2002 episodes like we all expect him to gives me hope for the future. All right, Jeff, you better beat it tomorrow, or else Lenny Cool Dick Denver's going to be sad.
I can't let down Cool Dick Denver.
Yeah. Hey, Lenny, that really does suck. I am sorry about that stress,
sorry.
but as much as you can take the assurances from a man on a podcast, things will be you'll get through it.
Yep. I say keep your head up, but maybe also keep your head down.
Velocity Prime 1 says, Happy Tuesday to the biggest dogs around.
Woof, woof.
Stole this question wholesale from a forum thread. Ooh,
That's a lot.
what is the best boss entrance in gaming? Not the actual fight, just the intro to the fight. Could include the level leading up to it. Okay, I immediately have 2 answers, Jeff.
I want to hear yours because all I think of is Johnny Depp's entrance in Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's not an answer to this question.
No, but it's a great example of a character entrance. I think everything leading up to the Mother Brain fight in Super Metroid is incredible.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You going into her lair, coming across the Metroids, and then the baby Metroid, and then it's just mirroring the Metroid 1 fight, and then it becomes this fight against the monster, but then the baby Metroid comes in and saves the day, and then you have the escape. It's incredible. Everything leading up to it in the fight, super cool. And then speaking of Final Fantasy VI, the Kefka Tower, right? He is just this tower of like maligned and mingling chaos and hatred, and there's like a lot of kind of Christian elements in there, and it's very unsettling. And this amazing track, Dancing Mad, is playing, and there are stages to it. Like you fight the first stage, and then the song progresses, and the next one, then you get to the top, and like it's like again, it's like it's somehow angelic and hellish at the same time. These chords that play, and he descends down like an angel, and he's monologues at you for a bit. Holy crap! Sephiroth Final Fantasy 7, of course, is good. I think Kefka Final Fantasy 6 even better.
I like when you fight Mike Tyson.
The dream match.
The dream match. That's all you need.
Chris, did you put that big line there because you wanted a break, or are you just making some separation?
No, I did not put that line. I don't know who put that line.
I didn't either.
That's all good. Octo says, "Hey, y'all, been enjoying Grubb Fandango lately. A personal favorite, so thanks for that."
Thanks for your help.
Moving on. Guns of Fury is out on Steam, and it's pretty okay. A Metal Slug style Metroidvania, which in hindsight seems like an obvious mashup, maybe. What other franchises or IP would you like to see in the Metroidvania style?
Yes.
Is there still room for more? You can't say Prince of Persia. I want to see Metroidvania Ridge Racer looks like, or any driving racing IP. I think put anything in a Metroidvania, it's going to be good. I think there's a similar question recently, and I was like, cancel that weird Beyond Good and Evil 2 you're making, and just make an actual Beyond Good and Evil 2 as a story sequel to Beyond Good and Evil 1, and just make it a Metroidvania. Just, I know you disbanded that team because you're stupid, but you could have just had them make that game. It would have been great.
Yep. I mean, you could even make it a 3D Metroidvania if you wanted. Make it a bigger game. Since you've been working on it forever, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I think just about anything would be great as Metroidvania. It is such a good structure for a game that everything can kind of fit in there, even Ridge Racer. And yes, you said Guns of I can't even Furry. Yeah, there we are. Yeah.
Furry.
I miss
the same word
I
to me
always
now.
miss them too.
My brain's broken.
My brain just wants to say furry.
Cool.
Yeah. Lightbright 32. Lightbright 32 says, "Why have they not made a roguelike Spider-Man game with the Into the Spider-Verse branding on it? Each time you go out with a new random Spider-Man with different Spider-Man-like abilities, the same vein as Rogue Legacy, and you have to beat bosses of his Rogues Gallery. I know this seems incredibly difficult, but man, that shit would fuck so hard." That's a great idea, honestly.
It'd be awesome.
Maybe the reason why is because you haven't pitched it and made it Lightbright.
Yeah, this is on you now, Lightbright. Roguelikes are clearly very popular, but I also very frequently see people be like, roguelike? Well, I'm never going to play that. I'm like, really? God, it's a really good genre. It's just another one of those. It's like Metroidvania, where it's just like everything is one of those usually is better because of it. Spider-Man just sells on its own, though, so they don't need to do gimmicks too frequently.
Ali Miracle says Star Fox Assault Defense Force here. Best Star Fox aside 64. There are only 2 to 3 on-foot levels. Fantastic music. The Crystal The Crystal Lovers keep winning. Better than 0 with its fuck-ass gamepad last boss. Inhales. Also neat multiplayer. Yeah, there was that story about, was it somebody who worked on the game, hoping that Star Fox Assault could be on the Switch too.
Yeah, former art designer or something like that. Or it was the original designer of Star Fox. It was I hope Assault.
Oh, that's what it was.
Can come out on Switch 2.
I think Ali Miracle's right. I think Star Fox Assault is a lot better than people give it credit for. I don't think it's going to be getting some kind of big remaster ever, but someday hopefully there is some kind of GameCube NSO equivalent, and they can put that on there, and more people can re-examine games like that and Wario World and some other GameCube games that GameCube is there's a lot of GameCube games that are really loved, Jeff, and they sometimes overshadow another tier of GameCube games sometimes.
It's got a deeper library than that for sure.
Right. I mean, Geist is right there.
Yep. Respect Geist.
Turbo Sean says she's right, I know, Sean. Oh, and then Ali Miracle's back says, and you can unlock Xavius on it. Does 0 have Xavius? No, it just has some slippy family trauma game. Who wanted that? Love.
Thank you, Ali Miracle.
I couldn't tell if Star Fox Guard just wasn't very good or if it was my hatred of tower defense games.
It was really bad, Mike. It sucks and it's no good.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah. By the way, I appreciate you sticking up for Star Fox Assault on the Bombcast today. I wanted to say a lot of Assault makes a lot more sense when you know that it was originally supposed to be a dual home and arcade release like F-Zero GX.
Oh, on that Triforce board?
Yeah, so presumably because Sega had F-Zero to work with, they also announced that Namco was going to do Star Fox, and so it was going to be Assault and an arcade game. And when you think about the fact that this was going to be arcade like ported, and you were probably going to play with a flight stick and everything. Suddenly, a lot of Assault makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It would have been like that Midway third-person shooter arcade game. You know,
Grid.
Yeah,
it would have been like the.
It plays
love-
just like the Grid.
I
dude.
love
It's
the
kind
Grid.
of grid coded, isn't it?
Oh man, that makes me
Wow.
love it a lot more. The grid
That's
is
right.
great.
Speaking of the Triforce board, they had that F-Zero arcade game at Games Done Quick, Jeff, and boy, every time I get to play that, it's so fun. It's so
Yep.
neat. Then last one here is from Beefhammer. Says, "Hey boys, with the Switch 2 announcement now done, is it time to reflect on how the Nintendogs represented Nintendo fans during the Switch lifecycle? I may include myself with you too. I think the three of us have shown what it means to be a true Nintendo fan.
No, where's this
Because
going?
we are the only ones who will call Nintendo out on their BS. We are the only ones who recognize that the Switch was a success, but Nintendo can do better, should do better. We are the only ones strong enough to say that Nintendo Switch Online is a piece of junk. The only ones to stand up and say that Nintendo is not our friend. The only ones with the courage to say that not making Super Mario Odyssey 2 is pathetic. The only ones smart enough to say that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is boring. The only ones brave enough to say that Breath of the Wild is the worst game ever made. The only ones daring enough to say that Nintendo has never made a good game. And I think us three deserve some credit for saying all this together. We go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it's hard." I added that last part there. Thank you, Beefhammer.
Now, you were doing JFK and not Mayor Quimby or whatever. What's his name? Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference there? What's the difference there, Jeff? Come on. That's it from the mailbag. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll take one more little break here. We'll see what we've been playing. I'll talk about Wario Land 4.
Hell yeah.
Clean up the super chats. We'll get out of here.
All right, break Rooney.
Cool.
All right, I can just get right back to it.
Me too. I'm ready.
All right.
Chowder.
All right, let's go away.
All right, Jeff, we're back. Yeah, Wario Land 4. They added that to NSO not too long ago. I was pretty excited. I never actually ever played that much of it.
Yeah, I think I've tried it tried it on an emulator a few times, and that's it. This was a relatively late GBA game, right?
Gosh, that's a good question because maybe that would explain why I didn't play that much
It
of
was
it.
extremely early.
Extremely early.
The opposite,
Okay.
2001. Yeah, what the
Jeez.
hell? So it came out.
Well, okay.
Come up before WarioWare?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because I was probably like, well, I've played a lot of those
did.
Wario Land games. I'm pretty burnt out on that. I can wait on this. That sounds like that makes sense now.
Yeah.
I love Wario Land, so I'm glad this is here. And it sounds like you really enjoyed it.
It's great. You know, it still looks really nice. There's a lot of good colors. The animation's fantastic. Wario's still fun to play. I think it's a nice mix of the more action platforming basis of the first Wario Land with that kind of open-ended puzzle structure of 2 and 3. Like the setup here with every stage is you go through the stages and they're relatively linear, but you have to find these 4 kind of pieces of a, I don't know, puzzle piece or whatever it is a key. There's 4 of them. You got to find them. And you also have to find a key. So there's these 5 things you have to find in the level. They're mostly on the critical path to the end of the level. When you get to the end of the level, though, you then hit a switch and a countdown starts, and then you have to get back to the beginning of the level. And when you hit that switch, it can sometimes change things in the level. And at that point, maybe you'll find some of those puzzle pieces or the key on your journey back.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like, oh, it's stressful. You're going to miss some of these things. There's maybe 2 times I had to play a level more than once. And even then, it wasn't that big a deal when you kind of knew what you were doing. It was relatively easy. But a lot of good level variety. There was some, interesting ones. There's like a whole toy-themed world. There's a level that's like you're on a board game or a pinball-themed one. Lots of stuff like that. Fun boss fights. Yeah, just overall, very good Wario game. Was super happy I finally got to play through it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time with it. It's yeah, I like Wario as a character a lot. Big, dumb, fun. Yeah, that's Jeff Grubb stuff right there.
Yeah, he's a goober, and it's always a good time. Everything with him and his lowrider in this game is incredible. The credits has a song with lyrics in it. You can't hear it very well because GBA,
Yeah.
but there are lyrics to that song. That's wild.
I'll have
Gosh,
to look him up on Genius or something, see what he's trying to say.
I love it too because it's one of those games like a lot of GBA games. It's just like, oh, what if Nintendo kept making Super Nintendo games?
Right.
There's something about this, and I think the best GBA games were actually no. This feels like GBA.
Right.
It has a flavor completely of its own. That's definitely SNES adjacent, but there's something different and special going on here.
You know, before we got N64, we didn't know what games were going to look like. I think in my head, you know, it was going to be Super Mario Brothers 4 or Super Mario World 2, 3, whatever, and it was going to be a 2D game with like graphics that look way better than Donkey Kong Country, right? That's where all the graphics will go toward. And so it's like, well, no, we got something completely different with all these 3D games. So it's like, oh, well, that alternate reality where we would have kept getting like, you know, the more powerful Super Nintendo, that did happen over on Game Boy Advance. And that is one of the reasons that system is so cool, is because we got to see what all those games would have ended up looking like had we not had the 3D revolution right at that moment.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how much time other people spend with NSO, but I spend a lot of time. I like playing these games when they come. Like just looking at it, I think I have 50 hours just in the Game Boy Advance app. I've checked out quite a lot of these games.
Not a ton
now.
of games in that one either. Game Boy Advance.
Not a ton. It's better than it used to be for sure. But there's still more we can do. We got the first Fire Emblem, but not Sacred Stones, for example. You know, we know that they tested that Astro Bot game way back when, but we never got that. Not a lot of third-party love in general on there. So yeah, definitely more that they can do.
Astro Boy.
I say Astro Bot. I do that every time.
Yeah,
my
that
bad.
one threw me off for a
my
second.
bad. Astro Boy, the anime character that Mega Man was based off of.
Right.
And there was that Western CG movie with Nicolas Cage as his father. Remember that?
Oh yeah, of course.
I remember because it was being advertised on the NFL a lot around that time. So it would have Astro Boy kind of flying around the scoreboard a lot at that time.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what I've been.
Insist.
Okay, yeah, I've been 3DS. I've been playing with that a lot again recently, and that's mostly just kind of doing brain training and stuff like that, which I continue to come back to, and I think they did a really good job with the concentration gaming or concentration training on the 3DS for that version. But it's also fun to just like go in here and like, oh yeah, like SteamWorld Dig 2. There's a 3DS version of that game, and it's 3D. I'm going to just go look at that and play that for an hour and a half and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like seeing a lot of games that I would have played on other systems at that point, and been like, oh, well, you know, I like the 3D gimmick. So I'm going to go check that out and see what that looks like. And as always, I like it.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy to play like Shovel Knight on my Switch. That had a great 3DS version.
That's my original version, was the 3DS version. I played it on there first. Yeah, and I love the 2D layered 3D effect of like, you know, the sprites kind of popping out of the 2D background. I think that's fantastic. So yeah, a hack 3DS, just up there with one of the best things you can have. 3DS is still pretty expensive. I don't think that I say still pretty expensive as if they will ever go down in price. They won't. So get your 3DSs now, everybody. Just go get them locked down, hack it up, and have some fun with that thing. It's incredible.
I love my 3DS. Absolutely. Fantastic system. All right, Jeff, why don't we read the rest of these super chats and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, let's see here. Where did we leave off? I think I'm up here somewhere. Okay, I think Nintendogs is where we're at. He says, MTG Magic the Gathering has done crossovers with Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, Street Fighter, Fallout, and now Final Fantasy, and I'm sure Sony's Spider-Man will be referenced in the Spider-Man set. What game would you like to see in Magic the Gathering next?
I am maybe a little bit of fuddy-duddy in that. I don't mind doing crossovers, but I would like for the crossover franchise to at least have magic in it, right? Like when you say Fallout, I'm like, I don't know. Like, right? Even Street Fighter, like, I guess there's some magic in Street Fighter, you know.
Ryu
like
is a wizard, all right?
Right? Yeah, like Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, yeah. That stuff makes sense.
You're saying Godzilla's not magical? Because he had a crossover, and he's the most magical creature I ever saw in my life.
There's magical beams.
I think it's pretty biological. I think it's all science. I think science can perfectly explain Godzilla.
Is Metal Gear Solid magic?
No, everything's...
No, it's nanomachines.
Nanomachines, son.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
A shoot.
Okay.
So yeah, actually, someone just said, I think, you know, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, that would be a pretty big, pretty easy grand slam there, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
the card art would be amazing. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Zelda would be cool. Dragon Quest, since we're doing Final Fantasy. Although, like, Dragon Quest is so attached to the Toriyama art style, it'd be kind of weird to have interpretations of it. Final Fantasy, it has had iconic art styles, but other people can still make art within it. It always also looks really, really good.
They should just cross over with Pokemon so Pokemon can have a good card game. See, I'm not just coming for you tonight, Mike. Don't worry. Not just coming for you.
We gotta do something about this guy.
Yeah,
The difference is
I just to his brain.
Yeah.
I just roll my eyes and move on.
Yeah,
I know
like,
Jeff Grubb is an idiot.
Yeah, old idiot. Yep. Alex Grants says, "What are your thoughts on 1080 Avalanche and Wave Race Blue Storm? Are they as good as their N64 predecessors? They are not. They're not as good.
It's weird that they're not.
Yep.
It's a shame that
well,
they're
I mean,
not.
a big
They're
part
not bad. But
they're not bad. I think they're both developed by Nintendo Software Technology. They were handed off to teams that were kind of just didn't really quite get what made those games so special originally. The teams that worked on 1080 and Wave Race on the N64 were just like obsessed with like, hey, we have 3D capabilities and we have these physics systems. We should just really dial that stuff in, and that's what made those games special. 1080 Avalanche and Blue Storm, much more arcadey, much less concerned with the feeling of the physics. And so, 1080 especially, 1080 Avalanche, you take the snowboard, you move, you go over the snow, and then you go over the ice, and that is like a holy feeling in the N64 version because it's like they nailed it. It feels so true to reality. And the fact that they can convey that over a controller was spectacular. Going GameCube, it's like, oh, they did not know how important that was to making that game feel special. So they did not emphasize it, and they went into all this other stuff to kind of make it feel like a cool game, and it loses a lot of its magic. Fahokwagat says, dream Star Wars game. Mine is Baby Yoda leaves a Beverly Hills restaurant and is chased by paparazzi and accidentally gets implicated in a drug deal, and then he steals reverse drugs. For gameplay, Forza Cross Civ.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't made that one yet.
I think it was on Firescape where Mike Mahardy was talking about that Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, the one where they just took the Age of Empires 2 engine and made a Star Wars game with it, and it rules.
Yes.
So yeah, just doing more of that. I guess saying like Rogue Squadron 4 or a
that's a dream.
Yeah, Dark Forces 5, Jedi Knight 4, Jedi Outcast 3, Jedi Academy 2, Jedi whatever would also be incredible. But and like in terms of something, I'd also like a new pod racing game. Very much so, for sure. But like, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of like an archetype in Star Wars that I feel like hasn't really been served, or even recently, that would be really fun and exciting. I don't know. I do kind of just want the sequels to those ones, Jeff. I really do.
The one I think about is the one, apparently one of the EA canceled games was going to be similar to this, but it would just be Drug Wars, or I guess GTA Chinatown Wars, but in Star Wars. You play as a smuggler.
Death sticks.
Yes, you right. There's all kinds of different drugs and spice that you can buy in one place, sell in another. As you take it from one place to another, there's a crime system of like, the law system of people trying to stop you, and you can try to take the long way around, but the longer you take, the less money you make. It's just, pirates, Sid Meier's Pirates, but Star Wars. I think that could really work.
They should try to make another Star Wars fighting game and just make it in the style of an anime fighter this time. That would be fun.
I would like that. That'd be pretty cool. Chuckowski says, Nintendo Jail Bail Fund, and then Trolley Problem. One track has Mega Man and Sonic. The other track has Metroid. Choose.
Oh,
sorry.
I mean,
Mike.
look, I love Sonic, but like, Sonic almost doesn't need to be a part of this equation because you asked me. I was even thinking today. I think I was walking around like, who are my two favorite video game characters? And I literally today in my head was like Mega Man and Samus. those are the two. Oh God, Mega Man is like so important to me. Metroid has more like all-timer games probably though. If you're throwing Sonic in as a bonus, then maybe I gotta go with the Mega Man side and save that. Oh, I don't know if I can live in a world without Super Metroid and Metroid Prime, though, Jeff. I don't know if I can do it.
Yep. I mean,
That's
Metroid Dread, even kind of in that canon now. Jeez. Yeah, for me, this is easy.
And no
sorry.
murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, though? Oh.
Yeah, well.
The fuck? I don't like this. I don't have to play your game just because you pay me.
I get to live in a world where I get to play Metroid and Sonic is fucking dead. That sounds fantastic.
I know which one you're picking. The Sonic dying is a bonus for you.
It's like a cherry on top. Jason Fulton says, let's see here. What do you think we get for Zelda's 40th anniversary in 2026?
That's just a couple years away. Maybe that's
when they finally do it, right?
Well, I bet maybe
it's next year.
Yeah, it's not that far away, but you could also do like Ocarina of Time. I bet they will do something with Zelda 1 even. Maybe they'll be I mean, would they really do a collection game? We already had the Game and Watch. What the hell else can you do to Zelda 1?
Well, I mean, what you could do is like you can like half remake it, not remake it as a 3D game, but do what they did with that Breath of the Wild prototype and kind of like make it looks HD, make it more interactive, kind of, but make it still looks like an NES game in a lot of ways. I don't know. They could do some fun stuff with that.
Maybe we'll get the trailer for that Zelda movie at some point in 2026. I don't know. The movie's not coming out that year.
Yeah, God, weren't there reports that there were some problems with that? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember that. People don't like go running like.
I'm not sure there were problems. Like, this seems like a very hard project.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
They'll do that. I bet they'll announce some Zelda theme park stuff for Universal. Also, like they were not. I mean, they announced Breath of the Wild. They announced Tears of the Kingdom very early. They announced Breath of the Wild very early. They like announcing the mainline Zelda games pretty early. They might actually announce the next Zelda game in 2026. Even though it'll be like 4 years, 5 years away after that. They might, just like last time, have this little 5-second clip that's shocking and strange and makes us wonder what's going on. But that's it.
All right, let's see here from Gaming Forte. Shout out to Forte, but I have not talked to you in forever, so thanks for showing up, man. Hello, gentlemen. I hope your week has been great. You too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, people go check out Gaming Forte and his YouTube channel. He does a podcast of his own, worth listening to. El Grug, don't forget the harmonica gimmick for Blight Club. Yeah, I got to figure that thing out. It's like this contraption that like you have to like pry open, and I think you kind of just jam the harmonica in there. I'm gonna have to like look up a YouTube video of how to do the gimmick.
Just watch the Super Mario Brothers live action movie. Look at Toad when he gets turned into a Goomba. You'll figure it out.
No, if I do that, I'll get too horny, Mike. From Klaus, who says Jordy JFK mashup win.
Oh, it's gonna cost you.
They want your two characters put together. Yeah, let's see how much.
Two characters put together.
They gave $5. I don't know if that's enough for Mike Minotti.
Not enough. You keep working on that.
Screaming Madden says, "What is worst time spent? Playing Blues Brothers 2000 on N64 or watching Blues Brothers 2000 the movie?" The game seems much longer to me, so I'm going to say that.
Were there? I didn't watch the SNL 50th anniversary thing. Was there any Blues Brothers content on that?
I think it didn't, because when it happened, Dan Reichert assaulted me with images of it. Jimmy Fallon, I think, came out and did some Blues Brothers stuff.
Did he do it with Dan Aykroyd?
I think so. I think
incredible,
something like that.
How dare you stand where he stood?
All right, and then finally, Dr. Ryan, Mount Rushmore of video game goobers. Here's his answer: Wario, Ichiban Kasuga, Yosuke from Persona 4, and Fawful from Mario and Luigi Superstars. That's a pretty good list.
It's pretty good. Yosuke's such a loser too, though, is the thing. So he's a goober for sure, but he's also a loser. So I'm not sure. Pretty good though.
All right, that's going to do it for the super chats, Mike. Let's wrap this show up.
We'll wrap it up as soon as we get 4 more thumbs up, so we reach 100.
Oh shit, everybody, come on! You know how he gets. You know. Here's a question from the TikTok chat, Mike, from Arthiel of Linnaeus. What's your guess for price of the Nintendo Switch 2?
I don't know. I want to say 400, but I was short with the PlayStation 5 Pro, so maybe I should say 450.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, man. You say that, and all of a sudden we got like 30 more thumbs up. I should just yell about thumbs up more often. Thank you, everybody. We can end the show now. That's fantastic. Thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. Next week, we'll get working on our 100 best Switch games lists again. Thank you so much to the community and for Joyzy for putting that
shout out to
together.
Joyzy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Joyzy. Also, didn't Joyzy also win the our fantasy critic of 2024? Joyzy just showing up.
Great.
Just showing up lately. Just good stuff. I'm showing up too because I was able to get that Shinobi game in both the Game Mess and Giant Bomb Fantasy Critic, so
Bastard.
I'm happy about that. Yes. Jeff, you think we're still doing the well, we've got a couple things tomorrow, the hole digging contest and Flight Club.
It's in the Asana, so we better be doing it. Both those things will be on tomorrow, starting at like 1 p.m. I think. Yeah, 1 to 3 for the whole game, and then 4 or 3 o'clock we'll start Flight Club.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
I'm gonna go rest. Bye, everybody.
Come on, go cruising, cruising. Come on, go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. Let's go cruising. Come on, let's go cruising.
But of course, going into slots.
Where's Cruisin' Blast on this list?
You know I'd be eating ass.
poop.
91.
Fuddy duddy.
91, not bad.